everyone, this is Ben Dunn, founder of ANTARCTIC Press, a small publishing company. Founded in 1985, creator of such comics as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, Marvel Mangaverse. Over the years, ANTARCTIC Press has produced a lot of comics. And even though we don't we don't sort of get the respect I think we deserve in the industry, we have actually come out with some comics that have actually been quite collectible and have become valuable over the years, maybe due to some significant first appearance or the low print run or whatever the reason it may be. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about 5 ANTARCTIC Press comics that are actually worth some pretty decent money. I also have a Kickstarter campaign going on indie called Tomorrow Girl Meets Punchline, which is a great Kickstarter that has Tomorrow Girl meeting Bill Williams' character Punchline. So check it out. At the end of the link will be down below. So anyway, these are 5 ANTARCTIC Press comics that actually might be worth some money that still may be lurking in your local dollar bin at the comic stores or conventions. Keep an eye out for these books. Number 1 is Mangazine number 11, volume 2. Now, when we first did Mangazine back in 1985, this was ANTARCTIC Press's very first comic book. We canceled it at issue number 5, and restarted it again with volume 2. Now, number 11 is significant because it features the very first appearance of Fred Perry's Gold Digger, which went on to become very popular, has a really good fan following, lasted 300 issues, and is one of the we consider more significant characters that appeared at ANTARCTIC Press. So, unfortunately, it didn't appear on the cover. Had it appeared on the cover, it'd probably be worth even more. But it is what it is. So we look for Mangazine number 11, volume 2, in your local comic book bins and pick it up. It usually goes for a couple of $100 if it's in really decent shape. Sometimes it can go up to $1,000 if it's a 9.8 or greater. So keep an eye out for it. The second comic I'm talking about is another Mangazine book. It's Mangazine number 21, volume 2. By this time, Mangazine had sort of started covering manga and anime news stories. And we featured, probably as some collectors have deemed it, the very first appearance of Sailor Moon. This predates the actual release of the manga in the United States by a couple of years, and a lot of collectors have considered this the very first appearance of Sailor Moon in the USA. Now, technically, it's really not a comic book appearance, but it is a comic book size format. It does feature Sailor Moon on the cover, and it's also worth quite a bit if you can find it due to its low print run and due to the demand by Sailor Moon fans to be a completionist. So, yes, look for Mangazine number 21 in your local dollar bin stores, or if you find it cheap online. It can go up to several $100s if it's in great condition. So keep an eye out for that one. The third one I'm going to talk about is Sentai number 2. Now, Sentai number 2 is infamous for showing what a lot of people consider the very first appearance of the Power Rangers in a comic book format. Now, supposedly there is a Underoos package that does contain a comic book of the Power Rangers. I'm not familiar with it. I haven't seen it myself, so it may have predated this, but a lot of collectors consider this the very first appearance of the Power Rangers anywhere. And so was not our intent at the time to make it the first appearance. I just happened to love Sentai, and I wanted to do a cover feature promoting the TV show, and so it inadvertently became the very first appearance of the Power Rangers anywhere in the USA, at least in a comic book format. It can go up to several $1,000s if you can find one in perfect condition. There's still maybe copies lurking in back issue bins out in the wild, so keep an eye out for it. You never know when you might run across one. But due to its very low print run and highly susceptible nature of the cover, it's very difficult to find these copies in very high grade. So the next two ones are Terry Moore comics. Terry Moore, of course, worked for ANTARCTIC Press early in his career, and he did a comic book called Strangers in Paradise, which went on to become a darling of the independent comic book market. So, but when he first came out through ANTARCTIC Press, it had a very, very, very low print run, and it was also very much susceptible to damage due to its black cover. So it's hard to find very high grade copies of this particular comic. And due to its low print run, the first printings demand quite a bit of money. So if you do have one, it has to be a first print and it has to be in high grade. So if you find one, make sure you check it to see what the printing it is. We do the printings on the inside, so you have to check it to make sure that you have a original first printing. Now, subsequent printings are worth some money as well, just not nearly as much as the very first one. So the next comic is a Terry Moore comic as well. When Terry Moore was first starting out working for ANTARCTIC Press, he was pretty much willing to do just about anything for us. So we had him do a Genus comic book cover. And this one is infamous for its bondage theme, and it showcased a rather furry version of Kaiju, one of the characters from Strangers in Paradise, in a compromising situation. And now Genus was an adults-only furry comic, and this is considered one of the more valuable issues of Genus. Most of the Genus comics are in demand and can command some pretty decent prices, but this one in particular, due to its low print run and again with the black cover, very difficult to find in high grade, hard to find online or for sale anywhere. It can go for several $100s if it's in great condition. So you keep an eye out for this particular issue. So there you have it. There's about 5 ANTARCTIC Press comics that are considered to have some value and can be resold if you can find them in half-price bookstore bins or your local comic store or at a convention in the dollar bin. You may be lucky to find a copy in the wild. Some collectors have not caught on to the value of some of these ANTARCTIC Press comics. But you may be lucky enough to find one, in which case, good hunting. And also, I just want to remind you, I do have a Kickstarter campaign going called Tomorrow Girl Meets Punchline. The link will be below, and I hope you'll be a backer. Until next time, this is Ben Dunn signing off.